Is that really how we're gonna start stream?
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm raising the
don't
volume
know.
a little. Okay, we're gonna continue. It gets so lonely here. Yeah, this was my idea to continue this today.
Yeah, your ingenious idea.
Sancho, I have conceived an idea. Idea was ingenious. Okay, let's continue. Val, to the honors of narrating.
Alright, hold on. You feel distorted, disoriented when you awake at long last with the rising of the sun. You do not remember what you dreamt, but you do not think that your dreams were of a particularly pleasant nature. If they were, your heart would not be hammering so. Ill at ease, you glance around. You are lying in a narrow bed in an unremarkable room, one with dull beige walls and a warped wooden floor.
It's beige, by the way.
Beige, I don't know, I don't care anymore. Where exactly are you? This does not look like your dormitory in the conservatoire, not unless it has shrunk threefold overnight. Your brow furrows as you attempt to recall the events of the night prior, until, with a gasp, it all clicks into place. You remember now. You were running through the woods, trying to escape from... You shudder. You do not want to think of what it was when you were trying to escape from. You presume that you must have given your hunter the slip, though, because you are still in one piece, awake and alert enough to face the dawning of a new morning. You still have all your limbs, and your facial features appear to be in the correct configuration. That is more than enough to be getting along with. You look to the foot of your bed, then blink, bemused at your discovery. You can see, lying upon the sheets, a garment, two garments actually, of black and white, folded into a neat white square. Hold on, I need a drink.
Go ahead.
Real quick. I have a bottle. Oh my god.
We're doing a lot of reading today. Not much commentary.
Yeah. I can just sit back and then relax. And
ASMR. Kind of, not really. It's not really
I feel
ASMR.
like most of the commentary comes from me because I like to question everything. But because I'm reading, there's not much I could do about that.
No, you can comment while reading, because I do that too sometimes.
I know.
Okay.
But I'd be too busy. What could it be? A maid's outfit?
Whoa, maid.
If so, it would not be too surprising. You can now recall your visit with the princess the night prior, and her assertions that you must be her lady's maid.
So we get to
Well,
be in
if that is the role she wants you to assume, you have no qualms with it. It is far preferable than to the other role you played last night, that of a startled quarry running from its pursuer. You press your fingers against the humble maid's attire. It feels surprisingly soft to the touch, not coarse like you expected. These clothes are rather fine. Did the princess put them there? If so, that is all the more reason to wear them. You are not churlish enough to deny her hospitality. You rise from your new bed and undress yourself, unbuttoning the front of your plain white nightgown and setting it aside. This task accomplished, you then clad yourself in your new attire, black, white, and eminently sensible. You feel very far away from the girl that you once were. Your face might be the same as always, but something within you seems to have changed. You are no longer a student, not as I assume mean to reside within the princess's castle. You would far rather be her servant. Assured of your newfound identity, you retreat from your chamber, then make your way to your mistress's bedroom. Hold on. The castle is a large one with many, many rooms and many, many hallways to connect them, and for a brief while you find yourself horrendously lost. You cannot remember where the princess's bedroom is. You are beginning to feel rather disoriented when, to your relief, your eyes snag upon a stairwell which looks rather familiar. Could it be this way? You ascend the steps. Your foot falls cushioned by the plush carpet which lines them, then find your way down the very same hall you traversed the night prior. If your memory does not fail you, then the princess's bedroom ought to be... Yes, it is here! You rap upon the door but receive nothing in the way of a response. Is the princess still abed? You wonder briefly whether you ought to wait until she has risen of her own accord. You wonder but no. The sun is high in the sky, and it would seem a shame to let the princess sleep through the day. You ought, instead, to arouse her. That seems like the sort of duty a lady's maid should attend to. You enter the princess's bedroom and glance about. Her room looks much the same as you remember it from the night prior, though the ceiling seems even higher when viewed in the wan morning's light. You can see, now that there are fewer shadows to impede your view, how very opulent your young mistress's abode is. Her armoire are what?
Fancy
What is
words.
that?
Armoire?
Fancy words. Armoire?
Yeah, armoire, I think.
Like noir?
Yeah.
Okay. Her armoire is large and imposing, as is the grate in which you will be expected to keep a fire lit during the nights. The princess herself, meanwhile, is curled on her side beneath the sheets, looking rather less grandiose than her title would suggest. She is attired in a nightgown adorned with frills, and her hair is split across her pillow like spilled gold. In her slender arms, meanwhile, held to her chest, is a doll, the very same one she was cosseting last night. You suppose this doll must be her favorite. Idly, you wonder what the doll's name is, though you do not suppose it matters all that much. It is time to wake your mistress. You call out to the princess, but she is largely unresponsive. Her eyelashes are still soon tightly shut, and her lips pursed in slumber. You purse your lips too, and sigh. Well, nobody said your job would be easy. Once again, you call to the princess, and this time she replies. Her response is not a favorable one, however.
That's all I say. That's it?
She sighs, then turns away from you, her doll clutched to her chest.
Just give me a little longer.
The princess sounds so enfeebled, but you do not take pity on her. If you have learned anything from the conservatoire, save for knowledge pertaining to the respiratory facts of fish. I'm sorry, that part kind of makes me, it's kind of funny to me. It is that one must be cruel to be kind. You do not think that this adage,
I think.
this adage was practiced with any great success in the conservatoire, but perhaps it will have more of an impact upon the princess. You tell her once again to wake up, more sternly this time. You will not let her sleep, for she has slept long enough already. It is very slovenly, really, to still be abed at such an hour.
Oh,
Defeated, the princess sighs.
alright. I can see that I can't twist you around my little finger. I'm up. You don't need to nag me.
Okay, actually, she kind of looks pretty like this.
True.
Once you have roused the princess from her bed and you have put her doll to one side, you set upon her toilet. You aid the princess in the brushing of her hair, a chore to which she submits willingly, like a cat might allow its fur to be brushed. You allow yourself to ponder as you run the bristles of the princess's brush through her hair, how wonderfully soft it feels against your skin. With a curious query from the princess,
Are you alright, dear one?
brings you back to your senses. You are rather lost in thoughts there. Look lively now. You wouldn't want the princess to catch wind of your salacious thoughts, would you? I thought that you had learned your lesson about that already. Suitably chastened, you finish the princess's hair, then set the brush aside. Now that the princess's tresses have been taken care of, you must start on her attire. The princess remains seated upon the edge of her bed, looking up at you askance. She does not ask you to avert your eyes, nor does she make any motion of divesting. Wait, what?
Divesting, I think.
Divesting herself of her nightgown. It really does seem as though she expects you to undertake this task on your own. Is that all right? You ask the princess as much. You would not wish to impinge upon her modesty, but she only laughs.
Yes, that is alright. It's what you're supposed to do if you're to be my lady's maid. I'm used to being dressed and undressed. I'm not a bit squeamish about it.
She might not be squeamish about it, but you are. You have never seen a naked woman before expecting yourself. Even then, however, you have always dressed and undressed furtively, not wanting to examine your body for longer than it's strictly necessary. You have never much liked the way that you look. You make a few more mumbled objections, but the princess sweeps them to one side easily.
It's alright. I might be a princess, but we're both people underneath all of our clothes. I doubt we look much different.
You are not sure about that. You have not yet seen the princess unadorned, but you already know to look at her face that you are different. She was much, much prettier than you are. But she is waiting, and you do not wish to keep her any longer. You steady your nerves. Then you reach out with trembling hands, and you begin to undo the buttons which run down the front of the princess's nightgown. You work as quickly as you are able, which, given how badly your hands are shaking, is not very. Oh, let's go back. You fumble with a couple of the buttons, flinching as you do. The princess, however, seems blissfully unaware of what it is exactly you are doing, or not doing, for your fingers have begun to seize up with the front of her nightgown. She is not even looking at you. Instead, but her gaze is directed beyond your shoulder to the windowsill and the sky beyond it.
It is. Excuse me. It isn't particularly sunny, but I don't think it's too cold outside. Going for a walk might not be a bad idea. What do you think about it, dear one?
You think that you would like to finish undressing the princess as soon as possible, so you can make some progress on dressing her again. The sight of all of this exposed skin is bad for your heart. Is it really that bad? Damn.
Girl is like a pure innocent maiden.
Oh my god.
This is too much.
Fortunately, you are able to make quick work of the princess's nightgown despite your initial mishaps, spurred on perhaps by your anxiety.
Oh.
The sight of all of
Oh wait,
this
sorry. Sorry, that was my bad.
you went back.
An accident, sorry.
Oh my god. You bid the princess to stand, which she does, and neatly she steps out of her nightgown. Her motions once again as graceful as fluid as a dancer's. This task completed, you search hurriedly, worriedly for the princess's red dress. Where is it? You cannot find it. Sweat begins to prickle on the back of your neck. Your palms meanwhile feel uncomfortably clammy. The moments pass awkwardly, uneasily as you search, the princess standing there, all the while as naked as the day she was born.
That is so awkward.
Yeah, that must have been so awkward.
Like,
I do not want to be. I do not want to be there. Why did you not find her day dress before you stripped her of her night one?
Exactly. Aren't you supposed to already have it prepared?
Nobody knows. What a
there's one
fool
that
you are. The princess, noting your panic, giggles, then says,
Are you looking for my dress?
"Yes," you reply, your face flushed. That is what you were doing.
I thought so. I did wonder before you started undressing me. Why did you not ask where it was? Maybe it slipped your mind?
I think it did slipped her mind because it's like, oh, the only thing that she could think of was like, oh my god, I have to undress her.
Yeah.
Oh god. It had slipped your mind. Yes, dear shame. You were too busy trying to fixate upon the princess's bared skin to think about how best to conceal it.
My dress is in the armoire.
The princess says, glancing over to the aforementioned piece of furniture. I'm guessing an armoire is a wardrobe of some sort.
Yes, it is.
It kind of sounds very similar to armory.
True.
The armoire of hers is an intricately carved wooden structure, large enough so you estimate, to fit inside it enough dresses to attire a whole ballroom's worth of princesses.
I'd like to wear the red one. It's my favorite. Would you be a dear and fetch it for me? I don't want to rush you, but it is rather cold in here, especially when I'm still naked.
Dude, don't even mention it! I want to forget that you are! She raises a good point. You turn away from the princess and make your way to her armoire. Oh, it is armoire.
Yeah.
Interesting. Wait, hold on. I'm looking at what the hell is an armoire.
It's just a wardrobe or a closet.
It's very interesting. Anyway, once there, you open its wooden doors and pursue the clothes hanging within. It is just as you expected. Don't tell me it's just red dresses. Inside that wardrobe lies numerous dresses, all of them finely sewn and decorated with no shortage of ribbons, lace, and iridescent pearls. You find the princess's red dress soon enough, then hurry to her side. I was kind of half expecting that her whole wardrobe is just red dresses.
I doubt it.
I mean, it could happen. With your spoils in hand, you hurry to her to dress her. They call it spoils as if she had won the lottery.
Well, I mean, she did find it, finally.
I mean, true, but still, it sounds like she had won the lottery or something. Concealing once again the princess's pale skin beneath layers upon layers of soft red velvet. She is easier to look at now, you think, with her skin concealed. If I don't want to comment that. Anyway, that might have been the most nerve-wracking task you have ever had to accomplish, even more so than your perilous escape through the foggy forest. Hey, I would rather change someone than run away from whatever the hell was chasing me in the forest in the middle of the night. Why, it seems a small miracle that you can still remember how to breathe.
Oh, hello, Zed. Welcome to stream. We're just reading.
We're reading!
Ah, that's much better. Thank you, dear one, for your help. You've not been here for a full day, but I already wonder what I'd do without you.
Shyly, you assure the princess that you did nothing, really nothing, beyond your job. This princess is making me question how she managed to get into her nightgown.
She taught herself. Yes. Visual novels are pretty fire, not gonna lie. True, I really do love
True.
visual novels. Art looks really
Me
nice.
too.
It is.
It really does, yes. I love visual novels, especially
too.
otome novels. And they're the best.
I have a preference towards women. That's it.
Angela,
Psychological
you
horror and women.
Yeah, she likes the violent stuff. I like the sweet stuff.
Did you read this line?
No, you did not do anything incredible. And in any case, being complimented by somebody so pretty is embarrassing.
Aw, don't be like that. I want to compliment you. Why shouldn't I when you've been so helpful? It'd be rude not to, and anyway. I think you're very pretty too.
Aww. Oh my god.
Oh my!
The way you
Oh
both said it
my
at the
dear.
same time.
To me, it isn't. I guess it's only to you. Your face flushes from this more deeply than ever before. You ought to count yourself lucky, really, with all of this excessive blushing, that the princess does not seem to possess any vampiristic tendencies. You are making yourself quite the easy target,
Now,
the princess declares.
why don't we go for a walk? It's a nice enough day, and I get so very bored of being cooped up inside.
You can't think of any particular objections to raise to this remark, and you think that the princess might have a point. The castle, though expansive, is somewhat stifling. The walls are so very thick, they put you in mind of a crypt. With your
Acquiescence?
acquiescence assured, the princess quits her chamber, her posture elegant and her gait unhurried. Oh wait.
Uh-oh. What's happening?
It happened last stream too.
Oh,
It actually
yeah.
happened last
Oh,
stream
yeah, I
too.
noticed that as well. I don't know why it's not moving.
I wonder why. But
Um,
unless there's something wrong with the thing.
I think
Wait,
you
can
should
I-
check your Fujitech, like log in again to it.
I'll try.
I'm just gonna check out what's going on in my stream. How's stream? Ow! Ow! Fuck! I hit the printer.
Oof.
I've been posting lots of videos recently, but because I just haven't edited them, and this week is like the only week where I'm free, kind of, to like do stuff. Ow! We've been scammed.
Scammed? By who?
Did you check Fujitech? On your Discord.
Hold on. I am. It's. There we go. Is it working now?
It's not. Try leaving call and then come back real quick.
Okay, hold on.
Oscar soon.
Oh, there we go. It's working.
Yay! Oh, that's what it was about. Damn.
Now it won't
Okay.
like close your mouth. It's just open forever. Why is it always just
Yeah.
one thing? You know what? It's fine.
But I think it's because they keep like getting audio from my end, so like it never closes.
Oh, true,
Maybe.
true. That's fair. Okay. Let's continue.
She seems not to walk as she navigates her way through the seemingly endless hallways of her home, but to float like a cloud. A cloud? The hem of her dress swishes through around her legs, and her hair shifts like a shroud.
That rhymes.
I can only think of Idiot Shroud.
Surely.
The castle's courtyard, meanwhile, is sadly lacking in comparison to the princess's beauty. The courtyard is fenced in by the castle's walls, which look, in the stark midday light, tall and imposing, faceless soldiers standing sentinel. Though the sun is out, it is not particularly bright, and neither is it particularly warm. The courtyard itself, meanwhile, is in a state of disarray. The flower beds are in shambles, all overgrown with weeds. Why did I say seeds? It is all rather depressing. The princess's castle might be grand in scale, but the courtyard itself is simple, hemmed into a claustrophobic degree, like a coffin. The princess, however, seems not to share your dolorous mood. She, instead, looks elated by her newfound surroundings, her smile unwavering. She gambols about like a lamb, flitting hither and thither as she examines the weed-infested flower beds. Her frolicking comes to a cease, however, by a bush. One is full of bright red roses.
Oh, how very pretty. Do you not think they are gorgeous, dear one?
The flowers are not too disappointing, I suppose. They make for a fine spectacle, in fact, a welcome splash of color when contrasted with the dullness and drabness which permeates the rest of the courtyard.
It looks like it looks like fabric.
True. Though the other flowers in their beds are wilted, withered, things. It is not so for these roses. They are a rich, bright red, just like blood. Their heads so full they seem almost to droop beneath the weight of their own engorged petals. They are pretty, in a sense. But there is something unsettling about them too, something that is almost obscene. How did these roses become so very red?
Paint.
What has been sustaining them?
Blood.
Magic.
One says paint, the other says blood.
The soul
God.
and innocence.
Could it be possible that these roses have been draining the life from the other flowers, which are struggling to grow within this garden? It is a fanciful thought, but
Oh, they're simply divine. Looking at these roses always lifts my spirits. They really are my most favorite flowers. I simply must pick some of them. Perhaps I can use them to decorate my bedchamber. It could use a bit of color.
the princess reaches out so as to pluck one of the roses free from its resting place amongst its brethren. You watch her, your breath bated, anxious that this gesture might result in a perforated flesh and bright red blood. But the princess is not as clumsy as you fear. Of course she is not. Who did you think she was? You? Wow, roasted by a narrator. Rather than worrying about other people, you would be better served if you worried more about yourself. The princess holds her newly pilfered rose to her nose and inhales, her eyelids falling shut as the flower's sweet scent washes over her. A few moments of silence pass. Then the princess begins to toy with the petals which adorn the flower's crown.
Now, let me see. I wonder what fate has in store for me. She loves me?
The princess plucks a petal from the flower's overburdened head.
She loves me not.
The princess continues with this childish incantation, all the while stripping her rose slowly and methodically off its petals. These petals flutter about the princess like bloody snow. The princess's voice, meanwhile, echoes throughout the courtyard, even more melodic than the strains of a pianola. What the hell is a pianola?
She loves me, she loves me not. She loves me, she loves me not.
The princess's fingers hover over the final petal, which crowns her nearly denuded flower. Then, with a triumphant smile, she declares,
She loves me. I knew it.
Oh wait, hold on.
Ah. Are you searching for the words you didn't
Hold
know?
on. Yeah, Graden sent a picture of a pianola.
Thank you, Graden, working as
Piano.
our, what do you call this? Our dictionary.
Dictionary, Graden!
I'm not even
You
here.
watch
I
the
am
princess's
the dictionary.
You watch the princess amused by her girlish good cheer. The little mantra she has been reciting is one that you are familiar with. The girls at the conservatoire also used to engage in this little game, the younger ones at least, who believed that a fairy tale prince would whisk them away. You might have participated in this game yourself when you were a child, but you never pinned your hopes and dreams on a handsome prince. Your interest in princes has always been minimal.
So that means, so of course the MC is a lesbian.
Of course it is. What else would that mean?
There's
When
only
it comes to two fair princesses, though, well, that is a different matter altogether, isn't it? Pleasantly, you ask the princess whose love it is she wishes to court, a query which makes the princess giggle.
Oh, dear one. Who else would I be thinking of? Naturally, I was thinking of you.
Naturally.
they
She says it
established
so
that
easily,
quickly.
as though you ought to have suspected as much. And indeed, part of you did.
They established that quickly. Yeah.
What?
Oh, comment. Zed said that.
Uh,
I love Yuri
wait,
novels.
hold on. I need to see.
Me and Graden
They
will be the one.
established that quickly. I mean,
Let's go, lesbians.
hey.
Let's go, lesbians, let's go.
Yes, go!
Did you read this line?
I read this part already. Yes. You wanted to believe, yet part of you was afraid to. You did not want to be arrogant enough to assume that the princess might care for your affections. You begin to blush, your cheeks almost as red as the roses, while the princess laughs. She laughs and she laughs and she laughs, her voice clear and sweet like a nightingale's song, as though you are the funniest thing she has ever seen. Oh, my laugh sounds like a witch in the middle of the forest trying to collect children for dinner.
Honestly, yeah.
Oh my god, I get constantly teased for that. You never liked being laughed at when you dwelt within the walls of the conservatoire, but it is different with her. You have not known her for all that long, but you are already entranced by her, ensnared. She has you wrapped around her little finger.
Oh my.
The princess's laughter tapers off into a series of giggles as, smiling, she wipes her eyes with the back of her hand.
That was quite the amusing diversion, but I've just had an idea.
I'm sorry, Don Quixote flashbacks. You look at the princess curiously. What idea?
An idea most ingenious.
Exactly. Oh my god!
You can't tell?
You cannot even begin to guess.
I just thought that all this watching must be boring to you.
The princess says, tossing the rose's stripped stem carelessly to the ground.
You should give it a try. Please do. It'll be fun.
The princess retrieves a second red rose from the bushes, deftly snapping it between her fingers, and offers it to you.
I want to see what fate has in store for you too.
You smile at the princess, touched by her enthusiasm. Indulging in childish games like this might not be the best use of your time, but the princess looks very determined you would not
Determined?
wish to hurt her.
Determined.
Oh yeah, true, sorry.
It's okay.
My English is so bad whenever I read like this. It's so annoying.
It's okay.
That's fine. I am
What?
way worse than you.
True. What could be the harm, really, in consenting? The only real casualty of this game will be one singular rose, the rose that the princess is holding towards you. You reach out. Sorry, hold on. You reach out, meaning to accept the princess's offering, but
Oh no.
you are clumsy, and you seize the stem of the rose with a touch too much strength.
Oh,
The head of the rose might be pretty, but there is more to a rose than its bright red flowers.
I didn't remember bleeding. Well, no, I mean, like, I did remember this part, but I didn't realize there were, like, red splotches on the corner here.
Damn.
Mm.
Roses have thorns too, a fact you are now being painfully reminded of. Pain flares throughout your finger and you gasp. You take a step back, the hem of your skirt swishing around your ankles. Your finger
Uh,
is stinging, and so
that
are
is
your eyes.
that is a lot of blood. Way too
Yeah,
much blood for
yeah.
a finger cut.
True, yes, yes, it definitely is. I feel like I don't know why. I feel like it meant that she touched it with her whole hand.
Huh.
Is it? I
I
don't
think it's
know.
just
That's what I
zoomed
thought.
in. I think the droplets are
Maybe.
just really small and they just zoomed in for our sake. Homie, yank that roast.
Bro, so true. Bro was so desperate for that rose, decided to yank it off, and now she's bleeding everywhere. Yay, blood.
Karma.
Read the line.
Sorry, you ought to have been more careful. Why were you so stupid?
In
I
love.
would like to. I would like to
Girl,
ask that
still,
question
it's just a
too.
flower.
You poor dear, you're bleeding.
The princess exclaims, alarmed. Then she frowns.
This is all my fault. If I'd not suggested this silly game, this never would have happened. Please, let me take care of you.
It's just a flower.
And how is she going to do that? Good question. How is she going to do that? Perhaps she means to take a handkerchief from her pocket, with which she might staunch your wound. Princesses tend to carry handkerchiefs around with them, don't they? Silken ones. How else would they give brave knights token of their gratitude, once these aforementioned knights have successfully slain dragons? Princesses can hardly dispense kisses as favors. It simply is not done. That is what you thought, but
Please, hold still. This might sting a little bit.
this princess is anything but ordinary. Rather than take a handkerchief out of her pocket, she, instead, encloses her white, slender fingers around your hand. Carefully, as though she is handling a precious object, she raises your hand, her eyes affixed, all the while on the beads of startlingly crimson blood which are oozing luridly from your wound. She licks her lower lip, then dips her head.
Oh,
She parts her mouth and with a soft sigh which borders on her senses, she
Senseless.
slips her injured digit between her teeth.
Full art.
Oh
Let's appreciate the
my
art.
God. Oh my god.
I set this as the
What
thumbnail.
is this?
I set this as the thumbnail
What
for
is
when I
this?
played this for the first time.
Oh my god. Oh my god. So much for a princess not dispensing kisses as tokens of appreciation. This might not be a conventional kiss, but feels intimate regardless, almost startlingly so. I don't know why I kind of want to mention that. I don't know why the narrator kind of hints that the main character is kind of like a prissy bitch, but
You
she
think
doesn't
she's
look like a
prissy?
prissy bitch.
You think she's prissy?
While reading the narrator, that's what I got.
For me, when I read as the narrator, she gave more of like, oh, this girl is really pathetic, Lemao.
To me, it's a bit of a prissy and pathetic, but it's like she is also very prissy.
I think the conservatoire she comes from, it's more of like a school where she's taught to be more polite or whatever, like that kind of school.
I don't know. It has been in my head that the main character is Prissy. I don't remember what the what the opening narration was like, but I remember it has been in my mind that the main character was Prissy. So, yeah.
The
Yeah,
MC seems to be a typical clumsy girl trope. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Definitely like the please protect me damsel in distress kind of girl.
Mm-hmm. I also
Interesting.
agree that.
The princess's lips, which are as red as any rose, are enclosed around your index finger.
Nice nails.
You can feel the warmth of the princess's mouth around about your skin and the wetness of it. These sensations make your whole body quake. You did not expect this. Tremulously, in a voice which wavers, you ask the princess what is it she was doing.
Oh?
The princess glances up at you, her mouth still enclosed around your finger.
Didn't I tell you? I'm trying to stop the bleeding.
Yes, you gathered as much, but
Is there a problem? I'm not making you uncomfortable, am I?
I mean, you licked someone's blood after knowing them for like what?
One
An
day.
hour?
One night,
hour.
actually. One night.
What? An hour? Because they didn't talk while they were sleeping. It is not, you say, that she is making you uncomfortable, per se, but this is rather awkward. You did not expect it, that is all. And is she not worried that this is unhygienic?
Unhygienic?
The princess blinks. She is the very picture of innocence, which is funny, really, given your fingers still nestled against her tongue.
I don't know what you mean by that exactly. But I've heard this is the best way to take care of my cuts. My nursemaid used to do this for me when I was a child. It's what you're supposed to do.
I'm pretty sure you're supposed to run it underwater, clean
Yeah.
water.
Yeah.
Germs.
You're supposed
Germs from
to
not
use
eating.
soap and water.
I don't think soap. I don't. Why soap?
think
I
it's
feel
like
like soap will
water.
sting it even more.
No, it's to
I
clean
feel
it,
like-
obviously. Like, yes, it will sting, but at least it's clean. That's what all the nurses tell me.
Mm. I don't get cuts that often, so I don't really think about it, to be honest.
I'm not gonna make this a debate, so I'm just gonna say okay to everything.
Oh.
And you ask, your voice catching in your throat, did her nursemaid keep staunching her wounds with her mouth when she grew older?
Something is
One of-
suspicious about this girl? Well, it is a Yandere visual novel.
One of her nails is not painted.
Yeah.
Honestly, the only one who knows how this is gonna go is Heki.
Yeah, because this is my second
Me
playthrough.
and Graden and I have no idea what the hell is gonna go.
Well, no. But my nursemaid was dismissed when I was 8 years old. That's the normal way of things. I had my lady's maid to look after me then.
How very interesting. And did they ever clear her wounds like this?
No.
The princess says, smiling mischievously.
Because I'm not clumsy enough to cut myself, silly.
Isn't it? Oh lord.
Now that was quite the sharp retort.
GNC.
You did not expect it. Your face. GGMs. It's yandere? Oh lord. Yes, it's yandere. Nice. I don't particularly like yandere.
I
but
do.
Yeah, sure. don't! Your face turns even redder, if such thing is possible, though this might perhaps be to your benefit.
Hi,
Wowee! Hi!
Hi there. Wanna get in here or?
You just reminded me that you
Technically
haven't
can,
changed
but-
it. You haven't changed your model into the one Garden made.
Yeah, I saw.
When are you gonna get to do that, huh? Alright, we're gonna continue.
Do it, do it.
Where's my hard work on display?
Yeah, come on.
Oh, I'm currently on a walk.
On a
Opened
walk.
YouTube to check something and got jump scared by a live stream. Yeah, I live stream whenever I feel like it. There's no schedule other than nighttime.
Like literally,
Oh my
she
God.
literally was in VC and was like, "Hey guys, I have a grand idea."
It's actually I conceived an idea was ingenious.
That is not what you said the first time.
Let's play. It gets so lonely in here. Here, so.
It gets so lonely here. Yeah. Read it.
With some luck, all of your blood will flow to your face rather than to your finger, and your bleeding will stop.
Oh, I'll still be out for the next 30 minutes or so, so it's a long way back home. Oh, okay, take care. I'll be there in cert. Yes, thank you.
Has it stopped? Your injury was not a deep one. There should be no need for the princess to keep suckling, but she still is.
She's a vampire.
私ヴァンパイアいいの吸っちゃっ
No,
ていいの
Hey, I'm a vampire!
What the Sigma?
Keep
singing.
I forgot the next line really.
Back to suck away from my pookie monster!
Okay.
She's holding a sausage from here against the rail. Make it get you. Please let us go! And then you forgot your own line?
Okay, continue the story. Now's
I
not the
have
time for
Halloween.
vampire. That's for Halloween.
Vampire! Oh wait, no, you just spoiled it.
Oopsies! I don't care.
You are not
Yeah.
accustomed to intimacy of this nature. It is making your heart flutter. I'll be there in spirit, he says.
Yeah, I read that earlier. You just read it now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I didn't see. If the princess knew that what her mouth was doing to you, you are sure she wouldn't not be so very familiar.
Giving you
I'm pretty sure she would.
infection.
I'm pretty sure she would just tease you even more if you said what her mouth is doing to you. You feel quietly, crushingly confident that she would scorn you for your feelings and deem them unnatural. I swear, I'm pretty sure she's just going to tease you even more. I'm pretty sure you're thinking of those bratty bitch princesses. It would not be the first time. At this point, you should be used to rejection.
Girl, she just said she loves you. Indirectly, though.
She loves me not. She loves me not.
Love can change.
I love you and you and you. It still stinks though. It stings so much. It stings much, much more than any thorn on any rose ever could.
The days pass. Oh, wait, sorry.
The days pass, following your misadventures in the rose garden, in a relaxed, unhurried sort of manner. Your mad dash through the forest is beginning to feel like a distant memory. So much so, You can scarcely recall the raw, naked fear you once felt as you fled for your life.
If this isn't a
If
sign that
this
the
isn't a sign that the princess likes you, then I don't know what is.
So true. She likes you. Like, it's
So
okay.
true.
Just say that you love her.
It's like, it's so plainly obvious. Like, it's right in front of you, girl. Take it! There is no running to be had while you are working for the princess. You would have nowhere else to run, and in any event, there is no longer any reason to run. The shadows which once tormented you have at long last begun to recede. You can scarcely recall as you lay down in your bed the petty cruelties you were subjected to by your classmates at the conservatoire. They no longer matter. Your attention is focused not upon yourself but upon the princess. The more ex- time you expend with her, the more you come to care for her. You have become quite besotted with her, but you are yet to realize it. Well, I never. How very ignorant can one girl be of her own feelings? Oh, dear narrator, you have never seen any romance novels nor movies, have ya?
I don't think
I
those
have.
exist.
I mean, the narrator knows where the protagonist came from, so the narrator should know romance novels and movies. The princess is not half so ignorant as you are, though, despite having spent her whole life within the palace's walls. The weight of her own feelings are not unknown to her, and during one stormy night she chooses to make them known to you.
Hmm?
You were in the princess's chambers later, perhaps than you ought to be, later than is strictly appropriate. Wait, this is suggested that it happened days after the Rose incident, right?
Yes, that they literally said days pass.
How did they live?
They cooked. There's a kitchen, remember? They have food.
They
Yeah,
take
but
in
they have to
oxygen
buy
to the nose.
food, restock. There are some
They
stuff
have
that
a
cannot
lot.
last that long.
Don't question it. Don't
They
question.
farm
I am gonna question everything
They
until I find an answer.
vegetarian. They eat leaves from the tree and from the bushes, and they eat the flowers, dead flowers, and they. Mm,
Those are not edible.
oh, if you cook them, then yeah, like cook them in a proper yeah, in a proper way.
I'm pretty sure still they are not edible.
Suspension of belief as a key narrative device is what Zed said in chat.
I cannot see it. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, cause
I can't.
I see. I think OBS is more advanced than YouTube.
Okay, continue.
Yeah. It is dark outside, and there is little save the light of the moon to alleviate it. That and the fire which crackles in the grate. You have only just finished stoking that very fire, and now you rise. You look to the princess, who is lying in her bed, and you bid her a good night as you have many nights past. With a neat curtsy, you turn to leave, but the princess's plaintive voice gives you a pause.
Wait, dear one, do not go. Not just yet.
Perplexed, you pause, then look back at the princess. Though she is smiling, her expression is unusually wan. Is she alright?
Oh, I'm sure I'll be fine. It's just nights like this, you know, which make me feel a little out of sorts.
And what, you ask, does she mean by that?
Only that it is very cold and very dark. And it is very windy besides. I'm afraid there'll be a storm later.
It
was
gets
off-
so lonely here.
It was awfully cloudy earlier when we went out for a walk.
The princess is not mistaken about that. The sky, when you promenaded about the gardens earlier, was grey and steely, the wind bitingly cold. You can hear the wind rattling mournfully against the panes in the princess's chamber. The princess's castle is built of stone and it is well fortified, but even with the fire, it is rather cold. You do not like to think of how much chillier by comparison it will be in your humble bedchamber, which is not fortunate enough to have its own fireplace.
It
So we
might
can
sound
have
Wait, did it have a fireplace?
No, we don't have one. It
Yeah.
might sound childish, but I've always found it hard to sleep on stormy nights like this. They make me feel uncomfortable.
You look at the princess with no small degree of sympathy. No longer clad in her bright red dress, she looks oddly, uncommonly vulnerable. Will she really be alright all alone in her oversized bed in her high-ceilinged bedchamber? You know it is silly of you to contemplate such a query. Why would she not be alright? There is nobody in the castle to hurt her. But still, you fret for her. As her lady's maid, it is your job to fret for her. You would never want your mistress to feel unhappy. You ask the princess what it is she would have you do, and the princess perks up at this and this, pleased, perhaps, that you are taking the initiative.
I wouldn't like it to take I wouldn't like to take up too much of your time when it is so very late. But would you mind sitting with me a little longer and reading to me? Provided that you can, of course.
Provided that you can. It is a fair enough question, but your pride bristles regardless. Hastily, you reassure the princess that yes, of course you can read. You were a poor student in many aspects of the conservatoire, but you had something of a gift when it comes to the literary arts. Reading books is all you have ever been any good at.
Oh, I see. I suppose I should have known. You're so incredible. I sometimes wonder if there's anything you can't do.
Fall in love, apparently.
Oh, ouch.
Ouch, dude. The princess's high praises make you flush. Awkwardly, you look away. Being able to read, you reassure her, is not such a great feat.
Perhaps it isn't where you hail from, but it is here. Very few of my old servants could read, and they certainly couldn't read the books that I like.
This piques your interest. Intrigued, you ask the princess what books exactly she likes.
Well, I'm glad you asked. I'm fond of fairy tales, you see, old ones from centuries past. I have a collection of them
Oh
here.
wait, I have to go do chores.
Oh no! Who's gonna be narrator now? Okay, bye Val.
One of you can take turns.
God, then you be narrator. I'm the princess.
Okay. I'll try.
Okay. Bye Val.
Oh god, The princess says, indicating a book on her bedside table as thick as a mortuary slab.
Oh, I'll lower the... Should I lower the volume of the game? Just so we can hear you? Or is it good?
Oh, I don't know.
I'll just lower it a little. Chat can tell me if it's like... If it's... I should like change it back or something. The book is old though, and the bindings are weak. The pages brittle, the writing woefully old-fashioned. I didn't trust any of my past servants with that book, but I think you would do a good job of breathing life into those old stories. Would you
No, I
mind reading
cannot.
to me for just a brief while? Please, please, dear one, oh please.
The princess's request seems a simple one expressed sweetly, so much so you see no reason to refuse her. You take a seat beside the princess upon her luxurious bed, which sinks beneath your weight. Then you retrieve the leather-bound book, which is resting upon her bedside table, and spread it open. The pages of the book are very brittle, like the princess said,
Sounds great.
and
Okay,
when
thank you.
and the binding of the book are loose. You can feel in the half of the book's manifold pages the weight of the ages concealed within it. How old is this book? Perhaps it is as old as the castle in which it resides. It is with a quiet voice, hesitant at first. Then you begin to read to the princess a tale of courtly love which culminates in a lavish wedding ceremony. All the while as you read, the princess listens to you, enraptured, hanging also it seems upon your every word. Once you reach the final phrase embossed upon the pages of this aged tome, and they live happily ever after. The princess sighs as though this tale has touched her very soul.
Would that there be... I cannot read. Whoa. Would that there was a handsome prince to marry me.
She says somberly.
Or better yet, a beautiful princess. At this point, I think I would even settle for a lowly scullery maid.
You blush at this idle remark and mumble softly that this would not be proper. There's only the two of you here.
Yeah, like, so like, oh my, I wish I could find love, wink wink, nudge nudge. Come on, MC.
I wonder who will be my perfect partner live in this lonely castle. that
Guys, I don't think she's
only
into
two people in it. The storm outside is still squalling, and you have never been one to raise your voice. You do not expect, therefore, that the princess will overhear you, but she does. She observes you, her head resting against her pillows, and says,
And what would be the problem with that, As my maid, shouldn't my happiness come before any silly ideas of propriety?
"Well, of course," you reply, but for a but for a princess to marry a squirrely maid,
You're still hung up about that?
the princess titters.
Don't pay it too much heed, I'm just talking to myself. As if anything like that would ever happen, when there is no priest around who would officiate it.
You think there are greater issues with the princess's plan than the lack of a priest, though she does present a good point.
Bro, the MC is so dense. Like, girl's already planning the wedding. She's way ahead of you.
The castle is an empty one. Even if the princess were to find somebody that she loves, there would be nobody to make such a wedding official. You cannot help but feel like you have avoided a good deal of nuisance. But but by the same token, do you not feel a touch disappointed? Well, no mind,
That was a nice story,
the princess says.
but I'm not sleepy yet, and it's still storming outside. Won't you read me one more?
Please no. You will not mind, you reply. But it is getting late. You really ought to return to your own chamber.
I know, but can't you find it in your heart to read one story to me? Just one? You can choose a short one. I won't complain.
You have some doubts about that, but as before, you cannot resist the princess's demands. It is not, you think, because she is a princess, though that is of course a part of it, but because she is. MC, shut up, please. Well, Radiant. You would not, you think, as you turn to the next story recounted in this age compendium. No, want to upset her. I am doing so bad.
It's
You
okay.
would rather cut out your own tongue. You read another story to the princess, which is of a similar vein to the last. Impossible adventures cul- culminating at their close in a happy marriage. This tale delights the princess just as much as the tale you read prior, and she begs for then another. One bedroom story soon becomes five, and even then, when the candles which flicker on the princess's bedside are close to guttering out, the princess is not satisfied.
Zed says, you're doing great, the reading is good.
Thank you. I can read, but I just can't like speak well. Like a grasping, greedy child, she has never heard of moderation. When she wants something, she seeks to glad herself with it. Her only request that of more. If she were less comely, perhaps her inability to adhere to the word no would be seen as a character defect. The princess is very comely, however, and so when she makes her next request, you almost agree offhand without considering the ramifications.
I think I could go to sleep now, but the storm is still raging. I feel lonely on my own in this big empty bed, so I know.
The princess's eyes light up like the night sky in a thunderstorm.
Why don't you sleep with me?
You stare at the princess, your eyes wide as goose eggs. Slowly, you blink. Then, just as slowly, you bid her to repeat herself.
Didn't you hear me?
The princess giggles.
Maybe you've been so busy cleaning up after me, you've neglected to clean out your own ears. I said, dear one, would you like to sleep with me?
If that is the question she truly means to ask, then it is easy enough to answer. Of course, you would like to sleep with her. It would be an honor. But would it really be alright for you to accept such an invitation? It must be a a gross breach of protocol, surely, for a lowly domestic such as yourself to share a bed with princess. You sit upon the you sit upon the princess's bedside, fretting, while she observes with wide beseeching eyes. She is waiting.
Well, what's the matter, dear one? Why do you tarry so? Could it be...
The the princess's lower lip begins to tremble.
Don't you want to lie with me after all?
The sorrow present in the princess's voice and in her face makes you feel awfully guilty. Hurriedly, you console her. You tell her in no uncertain terms that if she truly wishes to partake in your company, then you have no qualms with it. Why would you?
Well then, don't just stand there dilly-dallying, silly. Come and join me. Come.
And that is what you do after returning briefly to your own chamber to change into your nightgown. Once dressed, you waste no time in returning to your impetuous princess's side. She is already she is already lying in her glorious four-poster bed, awaiting your return as though you are a knight errant gone away to slay some wicked dragon. The princess giggles when she sees you. In your haste to change, you have made a hash?
Hash, yeah.
Ah, you have made a hash of the buttons, and she bids you to come closer.
Let me fix that for you, silly.
Oh no, you see, I couldn't possibly let you do that. I am but a servant after all. Should it not be your job to dress her?
Maybe so,
The princess says.
but I don't mind a bit of a role reversal. It makes things more fun.
Sure. Uh, you try a few more refutations, but in vain. Okay, the princess summarily dis- discards all of them. Quite at the princess's mercy, she might be even more stubborn than you are. You capitu cap that, eh?
You
Capitulate?
capitulate.
Uh, capitulate to her demands.
I'm trying my best to help you with reading because I also don't know much of these words.
Yeah, like the words that like that they shows is kind of hard.
Yeah, this is more
Um,
novel, individual novel.
yeah. You let the princess unbutton the front of your nightdress, then rebutton them. So the fabric of your plain gown is drawn shut. Satisfied with her handiwork, she has very elegant hands. The The princess draws back and pats the mattress beside her.
The author is for sure using some complex words here. Yeah, like this is the first visual novel I read where the words, like every few clicks, I will always go, what is this word? Like compared to Limbus, like, because Limbus uses more casual talk, but this one is like very novel. Like I can actually see this being like a physical book.
Mm.
Now come in. It must be horribly cold out there, but these sheets are warm.
Coldly, the princess smiles.
And so am I. Okay.
You feel warm yourself as you slide into the bed beside the princess. Your face is as red as the gown the princess so often wears, as red as the roses in the castle's grounds. All the while, your heart is fluttering. Does the princess know what an effect she is having on you?
I don't know if you can hear it, but I can hear like a slight heartbeat.
Let me increase the volume on my end.
Like that's not just me, right?
I can't really hear it because like all I can hear is like it's the sound of the fireplace.
I have headphones on, so maybe that's a factor.
Yeah, surely she must. MC is nervous now. She is. How can any woman be so blind?
There!
The princess exclaims once your body is laying beside hers.
That is much better. Do you feel cozy now, dear one? Heartbeat is audible? Okay, so I'm not the only one.
Mm.
Hello, I have returned.
Welcome back. You missed the part where we're in bed with her. We're currently in bed with her.
You reassure her.
Val, you wanna go back to narrating?
Yes, sure.
Thank
Go
you.
back. I didn't read that.
No, Graden did.
I read it.
Okay. Yes, you are cozy. You are quite cozy indeed.
Very good. The storm might be raging outdoors, but it can't get us here. I know. When I'm with you, I'll be safe. It's strange, but
The princess reaches out and takes your hand in hers, twining your fingers together like a chain.
the stakes have risen in your absence.
I'm sorry, I don't know why. Why is it that every time I leave, something interesting happens? Ah!
When I'm with you, I feel so very light. It's as though nothing in the world can hurt me. You make me feel safe, so I want to make you feel safe too. I'll take very, very good care of you. I promise.
You return her smile with one of your own, touched by her thoughtfulness, though something about her promise does make you wonder. Should it not be your job to look after her as a domestic?
In a way,
The princess replies after a pause.
but you've been taking good care of me already. Now, I need to return the favor. As a princess, I'm supposed to look after my vassals. It's all part of the job description.
You were unaware that being a princess came with a job description. Doesn't becoming anything has a job description? You thought the profession came with far fewer written responsibilities and far fewer forms to sign than, say, becoming a doctor or an astrophysicist or a mathematics professor. You tell the princess this sleepily, and she laughs.
You do say some funny things, dear one. I think you must be tired. Rest your head. You've been working so hard. I think you deserve it.
Probably because she doesn't know what an astrophysicist is.
I wouldn't be surprised if she doesn't
Frankly,
know.
I don't either. Yes, you think, only half conscious. You think you deserve it too. You have been working hard for a long time, have been running for even longer, but now, at long last, you feel like you can let your fears go. Your eyelids begin to droop, your body beleaguered by a sudden, all-consuming fatigue. And in a quiet, understated sort of way, your consciousness is conveyed to Morpheus's kingdom. Who the hell is Morpheus?
God of sleep.
Interesting. Your sleep is a deep one, despite the storm which rages outdoors. The wind is howling like a couple of wild cats, both locked in a vicious and bloodthirsty bout to the death, but you do not hear it. Swaddled by the warm blankets about you and soothed by the princess's presence, you are immune from all the ills of the world. When you are with the princess, you feel safe, secure, and, yes, you even feel loved. Loved? It is a pity, then, that these feelings did not last very long.
Oh fuck.
Oh, why? You know that something is wrong. Catastrophically, catastrophically so. The moment you open your eyes, your thoughts are hopelessly jumbled, but you are certain that when you fell asleep, it was in a bed, a nice warm bed no less, beneath soft, comfortable sheets. I'm guessing this is where the yonder aspect comes in. Yeah, your giggles answers everything. You are not lying in a bed right now, though. You are not, in fact, lying at all. Oh my god. You are standing,
Oh.
instead, against a cold, hard wall made of stone. Oh god, this is where all her mates are gone. We actually did get scammed. Dude, you called this for so... Oh my god, how did I not see it, dude? I should have trusted you earlier. I'm so sorry, Zed. I should have trusted you earlier. I dismissed your
Really?
comment, and now I regretted everything. I'm so sorry, Zed. The curve of your back is pressed against the wall so intimately that you can feel its icy chill seeping through the fabric of your nightgown. I can see this is where all her servants went. Damn, that's creepy.
Mhm.
Your feet, which are bare, are similarly pressed against cold, unfeeling stone. They feel so frigid you cannot help but tremble. You are trembling so much you can feel your teeth chattering together. They sound like castanets. This sound is almost jaunty as it echoes through your cell, for that is, indeed, where you are. The princess's bedchamber, wherein you fell asleep, is a thing now of the past. You are standing, instead, you realize with a sharp start, in the cell of some great underground dungeon. You swallow, when you do, you can taste something bitter on your tongue. Your stomach is beginning to churn with anxiety. You feel like you are going to be sick, a feeling which wells up inside you to a staggering degree when you catch notice of the stench. You are not, you realize, the only one in the dungeon. There are others here, others attired in the simple black and white outfits of servants which look much like the dress that you once wore. The others who are with you, however, in this expensive cell, manacled to the walls, are in no fit state to speak to you, nor tell you of their plights. They are all unfeeling, unseeing, unbreathing. They are all dead. You cannot approach these servants to check their pulse, for you yourself are restrained. But even if you could, there would be no point. They're all bones. How are you going to feel a pulse?
Well, I mean, maybe like this is for our sake that we don't see that much flesh or like a body that's like decomposing. Maybe it's better that way
True.
that we only see skeletons.
True.
Just gonna see the art for a second.
But that would mean that the princess has done it very recently if there are some bodies that started to decompose. Interesting.
Where are some of the clothes?
Maybe
gone?
there's
there are
some
some-
that aren't bones. Yeah, like a few in the corner. Yeah, maybe we just can't
Yeah,
see
yeah,
them
yeah,
for our
yeah.
sake. Thank you, thank you, artist.
But but like if there is some that are starting to decompose, then that would mean the princess has done this very recently.
Or not.
There is no way any human could survive the wounds which have been inflicted upon these sad, slumped bodies. Over there you see a woman slumped, the front of her once white apron stained with blackish blood. There is a gaping wound in her stomach, one through which her entrails have half escaped in some sort of burgundy goop, which might once have been
The
pale
princess
pink.
ate her.
There is another woman slumped beside the first of a smaller stature. She is skinnier. Maybe she is not a woman after all, but an adolescent like yourself. She might even be younger. The girl's age or lack of did not preclude her attacker from inflicting upon her horrors. Alas, for her body is even more mutilated than the first. Her body is peppered with even more wells, and her face has been half smashed in. Only one eye remains, staring fixedly at the wall opposite to her, in the ruined remains of what once her skull. Over there, you see a woman who is missing both her arms and her lower jaw. Over there, you see another who is missing her entire lower half.
Let's thank the artist for
He's
not
the
showing us
princess.
this. Thank you, artist.
That would have been gruesome. Where have her legs gone?
The princess
I
ate
have
them.
no idea. The injuries inflicted upon these bodies are ghastly, but their advanced decay is not enough to turn your stomach. You know not how long these carcasses have been lying down here, but they have begun to putrefy. You hear a similar fate might befall you should you stay here. So, we've got some cannibalism going on. Is this where the food was coming from?
I don't know.
I hate your tone because I feel like that's the case, and you're just like, yeah, you're right.
I
but
don't
I'm not gonna tell
know.
you that you're right.
I don't know. Like, no, seriously, I really don't know.
You need to escape. Fitfully, you struggle against the manacles which bind you, but alas, it is no use. You cannot free yourself from the walls. Your restraints are much too strong, and you are much too weak. Panic rises up in your throat, cold and icy, while terror seizes your heart. This too glacial. Hold on. It is obvious that escape is impossible, but still you squirm and writhe like a rat caught in a firestorm. There is little point, however, to your struggles. You succeed in nothing as you attempt to free yourself, save making the steel manacles dig into your abused wrist more sharply than ever. You gasp. That hurts. Well, you ought to have known that would not work. The very definition of insanity is, performing a set action over and over again, hoping for a different response. In that sense, perhaps one could argue optimism is not so very different from insanity. Now that is an interesting point to consider. Would you not agree? No, evidently not. You are still trying to escape, you foolish girl, as if that would do you any good. The clangorous rattling of your steely restraints is rather startling to get on my nerves. You are making enough noise to raise the dead down there in your dark, dingy cell, and all your screaming is hardly helping matters. I wish that you would cease this infernal racket, but I know you will not. Nothing I say could ever get through to you. Not that you have ever listened to me in the first place.
Hold on, this is new line. Okay, I see.
Perhaps you would listen to her, though.
Or maybe that was a line that already happened. I don't remember.
Is she not your kind, considerate mistress? Look now, she has come all this way into the dark depths of the castle's cold, inhospitable dungeon to see you. Is that not kind of her?
Oh, dear one.
The princess trills, entering the dungeon with a series of light, littling steps.
It would seem like you have finally awoken. How are you? Based on all that infernal racket you've been making, it would seem that you have no shortage of energy. I feel gaslit by the narrator.
I mean, technically...
The narrator is also one of the characters, but not the ones we can date, quote unquote date. One of the routes we can take. She is not one of them.
Balefully? Is that
Yes.
supposed to be barefully, or is that an actual word?
Let's search it. Balefully. Describe something done or expressed in a threatening or menacing way. Yes, it's a real word.
Balefully, you turn your head so as to meet the eyes of the princess. She is standing but a few paces away beneath the roughly hewn stone arch which bids one entry, but rarely ever an exit, to the dungeons. The dungeons are dull and drab, but the princess is wearing her favorite red dress. It is so bright and brilliant that for a few moments it hurts you to look at her. Once the red of the princess's outfit made you think of romance. Now it makes you think of violence.
You must forgive me for leaving you down here for so long. That was unfair of me. I did think of waiting here with you by your side until you awoke, but...
Once again the princess giggles, a light, airy giggle which does not at all suit the situation in which you have found yourself.
A dungeon is not a fit place after all for a princess. It is horribly cold here, and so very drab. And there's nowhere nice to lay my head. Nowhere nice and soft to lay my head. I could have brought my pillows down from my bed, I suppose, and my blankets. But then they would have gotten dirty, and that would be a disaster. I need to be more careful. I won't have anybody left to clean up after my messes soon. Not when I've dispatched of you.
Once again the princess laughs. Her laughter is light and lilting, like the chiming of a silvery bell, but it does little to alleviate your concern. If anything, it makes you feel even more alarmed. Did she say she meant to dispatch of you?
Yes, that's right. Could you not tell? I thought you might have figured that out already, after waking up in a dungeon, silly.
Still smiling, the princess takes another step towards you. With that you could, you would cringe away from her, but you cannot. You are completely powerless. The princess reaches out and places a hand upon your cheek.
Pretty art. Pretty art.
Oh my god. Her skin is very white, and though her touch is cool, it is less so than the frigid air in the dungeon. Though your body is aching, the princess's touch is gentle, and you find yourself leaning into it subconsciously. You wish she would keep holding you. You wish she would keep touching you. You luxuriate in her kindness as best as you can. But though the princess's caresses are
Caresses.
tender, your circumstances rather undermine them. How can you relax like this?
Ah, you're such a good girl.
The princess says, in a cajoling sort of voice as one might address a cat.
You've been so lovely to me while we've been together. I really couldn't ask for a better servant. I feel as though I've been spoiled.
Why, then, you ask her, is she doing this? Improbable though it sounds, she must be the one who chained you up. There is nobody else in the castle who could have committed such a feat. Everybody else is dead.
Why, yes, how very astute of you. I was the one who orchestrated all of this, naturally.
Naturally, she says, as though her betrayal is a matter of course. Naturally. Why, you ask, is this so natural to her? What does she mean to do with you?
Oh, only what I've done to all my other servants. I have experience with this sort of thing, so please don't worry. I'll take good care of you.
I would worry more, but yeah, sure. And by take good care of, she means...
Naturally, I'll kill you.
There it is again, that word, which seems grossly inappropriate given all which has transpired. Naturally. There is nothing natural about this.
Do you not think so?
The princess examines you, her expression ponderous.
It's natural to me, even if it isn't natural to other people. This just feels right.
Imprisoning her servants in the dungeon and letting them die?
Yes, exactly. There's a bit more to it than that, though.
Oh, of course there is,
I like you, dear one.
the princess says, in a voice which sounds uncommonly serious.
You have been good to me, like I said, and kind. For that, I will be eternally appreciative. You have been so good to me, in fact, that simply being with you is not enough. Not anymore. Your company can no longer content me. I'm a greedy, selfish girl, you see.
The princess's smile widens into something sinister, her eyes flashing with the fiendish fervor that you have never before witnessed.
And I don't want to feel you beside me. I want to feel you inside me.
What? The fuck? Well, of all the things your charming captive could have said, you did not expect that. I certainly didn't. The princess, perhaps noticing your confusion, begins to giggle, a giggle even lighter than meringue, and just as airy. It is just as inoffensive.
I can see that you don't understand, dear one, but you aren't the only one. My last lady's maid said that too.
Wanly, the princess sighs, a beleaguered woe is me sigh, which makes her look even younger than the handful of years she truly possesses.
And the one before that. and the one before that, and the one before that. I thought that you, at least, might be able to appreciate my point of view, but perhaps not. I don't think it should be too complicated to grasp, really. But maybe my way of looking at the world is a little bit unique. That's what my nurse always used to say, at least when she still had the breath to speak, of course.
You look at the princess. Where else for you to look, really? Your eyes affixed to her face. She is still smiling, but there's something sinister about her smile. Or perhaps in your anxious state, you are only imagining that there is something sinister about her smile. It is easy to see things which do not really exist when your surroundings are festooned in shadows. In actuality, however, the princess does not look any different to how she usually does. Neither is she acting any different to the way she usually acts. She has not changed. It is only your perspective of her that has changed. Can we trade in this love interest? I want a new one.
Later. We'll get to them. Later.
No, Zed said that.
I know. I read as well.
Tremulously, you ask the princess what she means, a question the princess is only too happy to answer.
It's simple, really, like I said. You were wondering, weren't you, why there weren't any guards or any servants in the castle when you first arrived here?
The question has crossed your mind, yes. You are sure that the princess said her minister sent them away, though. Was that a lie?
I wasn't being wholly truthful. No. I thought that you would be afraid of me if you knew what had actually happened, and I didn't want that. I wanted you to stay with me. My ministers didn't send anybody away because I don't have any ministers. I dispatched of them too.
Did she now? You suppose you ought not be surprised, but you still shudder regardless.
My ministers weren't very much fun, I'm afraid. They had a lot of ideas about what I should and shouldn't do after my parents died.
The princess stares at you, her eyes wide like black holes, empty, yawning abysses.
So I killed them. I killed my servants too, though I did a more thorough job with them than I did my ministers. I did not care for my ministers, you see. They were all fusty old men, but I did love my servants. I love my ladies' maids, and my undermaids, and my scullery maids, and my housekeeper, and my cooks, and my large retinue of retainers. They were like my family.
Woman.
Women.
Women.
They raised me in my parents' absence, and I adored them. They were so very dear to me that I had no real choice. I had to eat them. Does that follow?
Not logically, no. Why, you ask the princess, your voice trembling, would you eat the people that you love? It seems a poor way to repay them for their kindness.
Well, why wouldn't you eat the people that you love? I don't think there could be any greater way of showcasing one's gratitude, unless you have any better ideas.
You weren't expecting the princess to turn the tables on you quite like this, and dumbfounded, you stare at her. You know precious little about love yourself, so it is hard for you to form a convincing rebuttal, but you muster up a few token arguments. You tell the princess that eating people isn't very nice, and neither is it strictly legal. A better way to show your gratitude to your servants would be with increased wages or increased holidays. The princess listens to your arguments, her expression astute, like a student poised to take notes in a very important lecture. Once you are finished, however, her concentration fails her. Her shoulders begin to shake, but it is not with remorse for what she has done. Instead, she is laughing.
Oh, dear one, that is very funny. But why should I care about the law? I'm a princess. One day, I'll be the queen. I am the law.
That is a good point, but would eating people not turn her subjects against her?
What subjects? I'm no fool, you know. No matter how I might act, and I know what happens beyond the castle's walls. I know all about the plague. Once I might have had a populace to govern, but they're all gone now. I'm a princess in nothing but name only, a monarch without any subjects. Don't you think that's sad? I know I do. It's so woefully lonely.
You get so lonely.
Stop naming the title!
No, we are never going to stop naming this stupid title. If she feels lonely, then why has she been systematically slaughtering all of her domestics? It doesn't make a lick of sense.
Perhaps not. To you.
Gently, the princess caresses your cheek.
But I shouldn't judge you too harshly. As much as I like you, dear one, you are a commoner. Perhaps you can't understand the intricacies of my thoughts.
Privately, you doubt that anybody would be able to understand the intricacies of the princess's thought process, largely because it is unreasonable. You do not say that, though. Instead, you ask her the only question you can think to ask, with your weary throat which is sore from shouting. Why?
Why, you ask?
The princess blinks.
It's because I don't want you to leave me, of course. Everybody leaves sooner or later, whether they have pledged their allegiance to me or not. That is simply the way of the world. People are fickle and inconstant, even to me, a monarch. That is why I decided to eat my servants. I had no choice, you see. It was the only way to ensure that they would never leave me. When you think about it, they should be grateful that I would demean myself so to consume their flesh and blood. I am a magnanimous ruler, you see, and I treat all of my subjects equally. I love every single one of you, and naturally, I love you too. You have been awfully nice to me, and you are very pretty alongside it. If you were a plain ugly girl, perhaps I would not shower you with affection quite as intense as this. But you have captured my heart. I think you're lovely. So I'll bestow upon you the highest honor I can conceive of. I want your body to mix with mine. Then we can stay together forever and ever.
The princess leans in. You can feel her soft silken hair brushing against your cheeks. Can feel, too, the warmth of her breath as it goes against your skin. It is cold in the dungeon, but the princess's close proximity is perverse. Perverse though this might sound, something of a comfort.
Gaslight gatekeep girl boss.
Oh my god. Her eyes are wide and her lips are so red. Her smile, meanwhile, is so sweet.
I've been doing my best to fulfill the role that fate has dictated for me, but really,
The princess exhales. Her eyes, which are boring into yours, are like two dark tarns. Finally, you think you can see in the alarming lack of light, the lack of anything, in the princess's gaze, some degree of humanity.
it gets so lonely here. And roll credits. Guys, end of the stream. Just kidding, no.
But this brief flicker of understanding which passes between the pair of you is soon cut short. The princess dips her head. She parts her lips, which are as red as the petals of a carnivorous flower. You feel the princess's breath against your neck. It is warm in the icy chill of the dungeons, and you shudder from it. For a few moments, you think that this overture of The princesses could be romantic in a way, but this too comes to a swift and merciless close. The princess's mouth is on your neck.
Guys, did you hear that? If you have headphones on, you can hear like the biting sound.
Yeah, I can.
I missed it. I
The
wasn't
princess's
paying
teeth, the princess's teeth, sharp as needles, are in your flesh. The princess is draining your blood. She is supping on it in great greedy gobbets, like a hungry animal, one who cannot truly comprehend the harm it is causing. Even as the princess sups from you, her arms twinned around your waist, you find you cannot hate her. She is far too unworldly. You are unsure as your consciousness begins to fade that then the princess was being sincere when she spoke of her love for her past servants. This is simply the way the princess expressed this great love of hers, a love which is so very abundant it borders upon the monstrous. It is a love you never thought that you would ever experience. This love of the princesses eclipses anything you have ever known before. It eclipses sanity. It eclipses reason. It eclipses all notions you might once had of right or wrong. The princess, as you know full well, does not care about such concepts. You have always possessed a stubborn core, nestled beneath your weak-willed exterior, but the princess is even stubborner than you are. In the face of her love, you have met your match. The princess draws back. Desperately, you grasp for air, but she does not give you any quarter. As before, she dips her head, her red lips redder still with your blood, then splits apart her jaw. Her teeth, which are impossibly inhumanely sharp, glint wickedly like knives. Then she tears out your throat. The front of your nightgown was white once. Now it is red. There is so much blood, you can smell it when you inhale, sharper than metal. It is so potent that you can taste it on your tongue. You try to inhale, but this task proves to be beyond you. What with the twin perforations that have ruptured your skin. Your attempted breaths, when they escape your lips, sound like sad, sorry wheezes. Your whole body, meanwhile, feels as though it is on fire. You make for quite the sorry sight indeed. But you'll forgive me if my sympathy is limited. You did bring this upon yourself, you know. You reap what you sow, and in your case, you made a series of bad decisions which led to your untimely demise.
I find this line really ironic because there is very little of choice making in this game.
Yeah, I know.
We'll just like
Now, what do you want to do?
Hold on.
Will you accept this fate of yours and rest in peace? Or will you try to fight against it?
Okay, sorry, wait. Maybe it's this part. Yeah.
Oh my god, no.
Which one do you guys want to do?
I feel like either way we're gonna die.
I am curious.
Fight?
Accept your fate.
Fight or
I'm
accept?
curious.
Both of you have to agree on something.
I am curious.
About
I mean,
the
it just like come back anyway, so
Yeah, we can come back.
Yeah, sure, fine. Let's accept our fate.
yeah.
Yes, I thought you might say that. Though you once summoned forth the courage to persevere, despite the odds, your strength has begun to fail you. You are tired now, and This is more than you can endure. Being eaten alive is not just once, but twice. It's more than any ordinary human could ever hope to endure.
They're aware. They're aware that this is the second loop.
Mm.
What do you mean this is the second loop?
Because this is my second playthrough.
Oh, wait, what did it say? Come on, go back.
Being eaten alive not just once, but twice.
Oh. And you, though headstrong, are nothing more than a little girl. Why, you are so very slender, you might as well be a fair flower. I can see how weary you have become. But worry not. I will still be here for you, even though you might be bleeding out in a dark, dingy dungeon.
Thank you,
I shall never
narrator.
leave you. We did make a contract after all. The world might have forsaken you, but I never will. I will never leave you. You will never be lonely again.
That doesn't get so lonely here after all.
Save point!
Let's fight.
Fight. Oh, you wish to keep going, do you? That is impressive, given this is the second time you have been devoured so hard.
I know it's the second time. Shut up.
Of all the demises you have experienced, this one is the most gruesome. If you had tired of these repetitions, I would understand. I am not the wicked witch you might think I am, and I would be willing to show you mercy, should you want it. But I can tell you, you do not want it. Goodness me, you are stubborn. Why, I ask you, do you continue to fight? There is no escape for you, you know? I will never let you leave, no matter how you struggle. But, very well. Let us go back to the beginning once again. Your fate is in your hands. Or so I once told you. You ought to know now, however, that this was never truly the case. You still belong to me. I am not going to let you get away from me, not that easily. You can struggle as much as you want, but it will be in vain. It does not matter where you go. I will always find you. I can promise you that much.
Alright, guys. We're gonna end the stream here.
Okay.
Yay, what do you think?
Fun.
Fun.
Somehow the fact that the fact that I knew you were giggling because I know that giggle of, oh, I know what's gonna happen, but I'm not gonna tell you to confirm if it's right or not because I don't want to spoil anything. Because like it's so familiar, so I'm like when it came to the cannibalism, is like I knew it.
Yeah, to be honest, this was the scene that was promoted on the Steam page.
Lol, what the fuck?
Like, if I recall correctly, let me double check. Ara.
Zed said it was an experience.
A wonderful experience, might I say. Let me see. Yep, it was her route that was promoted.
Damn.
So, like, yeah. So, for the next route, I know we're gonna stop here, but like, where do you want to go for the next route, just in case?
Either we go to Graden's turn, or I could take a break and do my turn.
I'm gonna be the narrator in both anyway.
I know, but it gets tiring if I just talk myself.
I suck.
It's okay. To be honest, Like compared to like everyone, the mermaid has the least amount of lines. So
Are we going to flip a coin? Can we just flip a coin?
I mean, we're not gonna start the playthrough now. We can start like next time.
True, yeah.
So, yeah, we're ending here. If you like this video, oh my god, it's so cringe whenever I do like the YouTuber outro. I don't want to do it.
If you like
If you like this video,
Shut up!
give me a thumbs up and subscribe
don't
to
forget.
Making Mirror Mirror.
Shut up!
And
I'm
don't
ending this.
forget to turn on the notification bell
Shut up!
to know every time she uploads.
Stop! This is embarrassing. Okay, I'm leaving now.
Help us
Goodbye.
reach 1,000 subscribers.
Stop!